congrats on getting here.
Thank you.
I mean, so you guys were here in the spring of 2021. How is the field? Is it a little bit different for you now in what is this, January of 2023 versus the first time you guys were here?
Yeah, the first thing I noticed when I stepped on the field, it was just a little harder than it was 2 years ago when we were here in the spring. And I think that'll help us with a little more traction. It won't be as slick. And obviously the weather will play a big part of that, but I'm not too worried about the field right now.
And when it comes to the experience that you guys had against Sam Houston State, it was a little bit of a different with everything going on in the world. And now this year you're going to have full stands. You're going to play against your arch rival in North Dakota State. This is bigger than a Dakota marker. What does this game mean specifically for you, knowing that you have another crack at trying to beat them in the playoffs?
Yeah, definitely. I would say this is the biggest game of my life, of the program's history. You know, it doesn't really matter that it's up against SDSU. At the end of the day, you know, we're just going to go out, we're going to play our game, and we're going to come out on top. And we're going to be focused on making the next play. It doesn't really matter that it's SDSU at the end of the day, though.
What do you guys take away from that first matchup in the Fargo Dome that you can apply to this game? I mean, is there some specific parts of the film that you can look at and say, you know, this is what we did well, this is what we have to defend against? I mean, what can you take away from a game that was, in a sense, feels like a year ago?
Yeah, I would say the biggest thing that we took away was that, you know, no matter how down we are, we're never out of the fight. Especially going into the Fargo Dome against SDSU, being down by, I think it was 14 at halftime. We kind of just proved that we're a team of a bunch of resilient guys. We're a bunch of winners. You know, we go out there, we're going to play our best football. No matter how much the deficit is, we're going to come back. And I think we also learned that we can just play against anybody, and this is the best team that we've ever had, in my opinion. So we're excited for the game.
So when you look at the game against Holy Cross, and it was a little bit closer than I expected it to be, but then you had that game against Montana State at home. Freezing cold temps, obviously, number one. But you guys came out and dominated Montana State, who was playing really, really well. So what do you attribute that great performance against Montana State to?
I think it was that week of practice leading up to the game. We were so focused. You know, after the game last year, that heartbreak we had, we did not want that to happen again, especially in front of our home fans. So we just made sure that we took every day, day by day, and got better, and we were 100% ready for the game. So
last question I have for you is 3 weeks to prepare for this game. How much different is that than just getting 1 week to prepare for the next game?
I would say the only difference is, you know, people say you can get a little rusty, but I think having such a long season that we had, and then we didn't have that bye until the first round of the playoffs. So overall, I think it was a huge benefit for us, just getting our legs back and getting healthy again. And we're frothing at the bit to get this game going.
Of course, a lot of people probably want to know your prediction for the game, but I think the most important question that we have, your twin brother Jackson's sitting right alongside us. Who's the better football player?
As much as it pains me to say, I'll give it to him. He's a great player. He's a great athlete. You know, he does all the right stuff on and off the field. I'm older than him, but sometimes I find myself, you know, kind of looking up to him and some of the things that he does better than me. But we've had a rivalry our whole lives, and we want nothing but the best for each other, and we're excited to be here today.
And the last thing I have, I know that you said that it doesn't matter if North Dakota State, but has there been any talk within your team internally with the fact that you've been able to beat them in the regular season and more impressively in the Fargo Dome, but you've came up short in the playoffs? Has that came up at all, or is it just, you know what, we're in Frisco, we have 60 more minutes of football, we're just going to get there?
Yeah, it has come up. You know, we talked about how this is kind of like Fargo South is what they call it. You know, the Bison have been here so much, and they kind of own this place. So we're looking forward to kind of coming in and taking it over from